Hello, welcome to the Unit 1 practice test. What we'll be doing is videos for each one of your pages. I whited out the right side, so it has these two pages, so I have room to work on it. So let's just start. So at 5 in the morning, a parking lot had 16 cars already parked in it. Throughout the course of the day, 48 more cars entered and parked in the parking lot. Which situation would result in a difference of 0 for the cars exiting the lot for the day? So of course it's a word problem, so we have our skills where we go back and we highlight everything that's important. So 16 cars, the 5 in the morning is a maybe, so let's highlight that. They already parked in it, so throughout the course of the day, 48 more cars, something else. They enter, they didn't leave, so that's important. And parked in the parking lot. Which situation? Okay, so and then we want to get to 0. So instead of orange, since I have so many colors to pick from, let's pick a different color. And 0 is what we want to end up with. So we are looking for the 0 pair, if you remember what that means. So we're looking for the 0 pair. So this is a 0 pair problem. So we have 16 cars. Now we could visualize this by putting 16 and counting that out, or we could visualize this by having it to where we have a number line. I prefer the number line because it adds to more problems than just this one. So we know it's all positive. So I'm going to put the 0 already or all the way over here. 0 right here. And let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is where we need to land. So at 16 cars, that's where we're going to start. From 16 cars, we have 48 more cars entered. So that more, you have to know what that means. Are you adding or subtracting? So this more is going to be addition. So that means I'm going to go further to the right if I'm adding. If I'm subtracting, I go further to the left. So I'm going to count all the way up to whatever plus 48 is, to some unknown number right here. So is this going to be 48? No, it's not going to be 48. It's going to be whatever 16 plus 48 is. So let's do the math on the side. You could always count up 48 times, but since it's a bigger number, it might be more beneficial to do it this way. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 1 is 6. So we have 64 cars. 64 cars at this point. Now, question is how many we want to know about 0 cars. So how do I get back to 0 cars? So looking at the number line, basically I need to count back. Count back all the way to, oh, that's not 0. I saw the dot and I thought 0. So I need to count all the way back to 0. So how much do I need to subtract from 64? So from 64 to get to my 0 pair. Do I subtract 16? Because when I go to the left, I know I'm subtracting. So exit is how I know I'm subtracting. So how many cars need to exit? Not 16, not 32, not 48. They're all too small. So it must be D, 64 cars exit the parking lot. Let's look at number 2. Whenever you have a subtraction problem, subtraction, you can always use keep, change, change. So keep, change, change. So I'm going to write KCC above this. We're going to keep the negative 2 as negative 2, change the negative to positive, and change this positive 6 to a negative 6, and put parentheses to organize it. Now that I have this as addition, I can use my algebra tiles, and I can say, okay, so let's keep with red, and show me 2 negatives. So 1, 2. Now show me 6 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to count them up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know it has to be 8, but is it negative or positive? Well, we were dealing with negative, so it's definitely A. Alright, let's go to the next one. 3. 3 has it to where we are multiplying a negative times a negative. So we need to know what all of these rules mean for every problem. So these are your 4 situations. So let's review. Negative times negative is a positive. Negative times positive is a negative. Positive times a negative is a negative. And a positive times positive is a positive. We are looking at the first situation here. We are looking at what a negative times negative is. That is a positive. So now I just need to know what 6 times 12 is. But before I even continue, I can actually look at this and say, okay, my answer has to be positive. That means A and B can't be my answers because look at this. There's negatives right there. So when I multiplied the 12 times 6, what is 6 times 2? 12. What is 6 times 1? 6 plus 1, 72. Now I could have actually made it to where I didn't even need to multiply this out because look, when you multiply, the number should increase. So to say that it was going to decrease to 0.5 or 1/2, then that doesn't make sense. So it definitely isn't C. It had to be D. If I couldn't do this part correctly, I know it's definitely increasing. Okay, let's go to number 4. We have 5 minus negative 2. So this is another keep, change problem. So we're going to keep the 5 the same. Actually, let me just rewrite it so it looks better here, more organized. So we're going to keep this, change. Keep 5 the same. Change this to addition. Change this to addition. 5 plus 2 is 7. Now, on a number line, we can think of this as the hot air balloon. It is important that you know the concept of why minus or subtracting a negative would actually make it to where it's addition. So remember that if I have 5 minus negative 2, this is the same thing as this is your starting point for the hot air balloon that we did in class. This one is you're taking away something. You don't know if it's gas or sand. And this one tells you if it's positive, it's gas. If it's negative, it is sand. So we would start at 5. Let's start at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this was 5 right here. Let's change the color. This is where the balloon should start. Now you are taking away sand. So it was negative, so you're taking away sand. Now sand makes the hot air balloon go down in this situation. So if you are taking away the thing that's making you go down, you are definitely going to have to change directions and go up because you are taking away that weight. So you are going to go up how much? 1, 2, which gives you 7 as your answer, positive 7. So I gave you 2 ways to do this. First way, and then second, which is more conceptual, talking about the hot air balloon performance test that we did. Number 5 is another example of a zero pair, same as number 1. So a running back on the high school football team was tackled for a 10-yard loss. So let's start the running back at 0. Now he was tackled for a 10-yard loss. So 10-yard loss would be over here. So I'm going by 5s just to make it easier. So you have a 10-yard loss. On the very next play, the running back gains 10 yards. Now if you're going to gain 10 yards, you're definitely going to go the other direction. So right here. How many yards does running back have after these 2 plays? So after this whole thing, what did I come up with? So he landed on 0. He had no gain or loss at that point. Tim started a new diet after the first week. Tim lost 2 pounds. Tim weighed himself after the second week and noticed that he had gained 2 pounds. What is Tim's net weight change after 2 weeks? So here is another zero pair. So they give you that Tim lost 2 pounds, and then they give you that Tim gained 2 pounds. So let me color code this. I like it that it's red for a loss, and then let's change it to blue for a gain. So these 2 things, you have first that he lost 2 pounds, so you have -2, then he gained 2 pounds. If we combine these, how much was the net weight? So how much in total did he lose after 2 weeks? So this would be 0 pounds if you add the 2 pounds here. Okay, so 0 would be your correct answer. Another problem with a zero pair. So I'm going to stop the video here, and there will be another video for the next page.